Hello, my name is Dr. Stephen Myers, and today's question is, how old is the earth according to the Bible? Some think it was created in 4004 BC, or about 6,000 years ago. And others, mainly scientists, think it's 4.5 billion years old. Which one is right? Archbishop James Ussher, very famous, born in 1581 to 1656 AD. He studied a lot of things, and he calculated that the age of the world, by adding up all the kings, the genealogies in the Old Testament, and back in the book of Genesis, the genealogies there, and came up with 404 BC, a Monday morning when God started to create the heavens and the earth. And it was a big, thick book that he wrote about it, and it's a very famous one. And one's Young Earth Creationist today, I think he was right in his calculations. If you go to the Creation Museum in Kentucky, here I took this picture, and they believe at 4004 BC was when God created the heavens and the earth. And then, as you can't see it there, but the flood is placed at 2348 BC. And so that is their view, following mainly Ussher here. But there could be gaps in these genealogies. Jesus is said to be the son of David, yet there are 1,000 years difference between David and Jesus. How can this be? And you see in Matthew there a number of times, in Matthew and other places, Jesus is called the son of David. Joseph's father is called the son of David. Yet there are many generations of about 1,000 years between them, because you could translate son as ancestor of. It doesn't have to be a literally father to son relationship. So counting on the genealogies, there may be gaps, there may be additions, as in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, and it adds 1,386 years to the genealogies just in Genesis chapter 5. And there, I believe, in Luke adds another name that isn't listed there in the Masoretic Hebrew text. So we can't be for sure that Ussher was exactly right. We don't know for sure. We do have a verse in Habakkuk 3:6. It says, "He stood and he measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations. And the everlasting mountains were scattered, and the perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting." Here we have the mountains is described as everlasting. What happened to 4004 BC? The mountains are said to be everlasting, the hills perpetual or eternal, just as God is called eternal and everlasting. So here, it says right here, it doesn't give an age of 4004 BC in the Old Testament. It does say, though, to seem here that matter is eternal, as is God. There always was matter. If we look at Genesis 1:1, there is no ex nihilo creation in Genesis 1:1. The first phrase is a temporal clause with two verses describing what it was like before creation. It was formless and void, and darkness was over the tomb, or the watery deep. So Genesis 1 is just saying at the very beginning of creation, there was formlessness and void. It doesn't tell us where this watery deep formlessness came from. It assumes here, as in Habakkuk, that it was eternal. It was always there, and now God is going to order and separate it out into the creation that we have today. Ex nihilo is a Latin phrase meaning out of nothing. It is a theological term that refers to creation not being made out of pre-existing matter. And this is a later concept that doesn't come in until the 2nd century A.D. So there is no creating out of nothing in Genesis chapter 1. Even in ancient Near Eastern literature, there's no expression of an ex nihilo creation. Many accounts assume a watery, deep darkness before creation, as does Genesis 1 verse 2. And in chapter 2, it starts out, when there was not yet. And that's was Emo Elish starts out the same way. So there's no ex nihilo creation in Genesis 1. So how old is the earth? According to the Bible, it is eternal, and that's in Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 6. So that is the answer. If you're looking at Habakkuk, and as the ancient Near East, they thought it was just eternal matter. So we conclude here on how old the earth is. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's 4004 BC when there was creation? Or scientists claim that it's about 4.5 billion years old. And that's a whole nother video about how old the earth is according to scientists. You can see or get my papers, Bible and Science 1 at academia.edu. The one on Genesis 1 is also there. They're free to download. I also have books there and other writings that you can go and check out there at academia.edu. And the website is bibleandscience.com, which has many of these things already on there. And you can look that up as well. And let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell because more videos are on the way.